cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Is this the much rumored 2090 episode of the show that's called Mike's Daily Podcast? That's amazing. 2090. That's a lot of shows. I'm almost at 2100. And who knows about this show? No one, because Joe Rogan, he took over the entire podcast world and nobody else can podcast because everyone listens to his. And that's how it works today, everyone. If you want a podcast, forget about it because Mike's Daily Podcast. Joe Rogan's it. That guy. Fear Factor guy. And he has Mike's planted Daily a flag podcast in the podcast world. Yeah! But I'm going to keep podcasting because I don't care, and I never listen to a show. I think I tried listening to a show once, and I heard a commercial at the beginning of the show, and I said, "No, you're not going to be selling some stupid thing, some razor blades to me that I don't need." I did shave my lovely head today, my round, beautiful head, my cabeza, as it were, today. Looks so nice. Maybe you'll see it if you look at the video that I'm doing right now on YouTube. Oops. Here we go. Which you can see at the YouTube page, youtube.com/Mike's Daily Podcast. I have been using this channel for quite a while. Do you remember in the early days of YouTube, people were taking anime and adding songs to it, like their favorite songs, and taking the really sad, poignant scenes from anime cartoons and putting it to music? That is actually how I first found out about YouTube. There was somebody I knew I worked with in radio, and she said, "Oh, have you been on youtube.com? It's great." And I posted a bunch of anime cartoons, and I said, what did you say? I didn't catch any of those words. Anime YouTube, it's like a foreign language. And
here's today's podcast picture.
How do I create a channel? And here it is. Yes. Then the gamers took over and kicked me off, and now I'm somewhere here in the back area, the Eddy region, as it were. What do you call this? We're in the Jetsam, the Flotsam and Jetsam area. You're welcome. It's Flotsam and Jetsam, everybody. The podcast picture today, I have no idea, but it's going to rock. It's going to be great. I so wanted to take a nice nap today, but you know what? I think I can't do it anymore. I'm so wired, like this guy right here. Basil. He's all, rah. I think we should go to a picture 2 years ago. Basil says yes, 2 years ago. That's what he said, 2 years ago. Okay, we'll go to a podcast picture from 2 years ago. We went on this wonderful walk. It's a lake. Is it Tilden Lake? Yes. Beautiful lake up there behind the Berkeley area. And you can see that wonderful picture at mikesdailypodcast.com, because we had a wonderful day walking along. There's so many hiking areas. I need to get out and walk on trails. What I should post a picture of are the wild pigs I saw yesterday. That was amazing. Were they wild boar? Wild boar! No, I think they were just wild pigs. And I couldn't really get a good picture of them because they were quite far away. I got an interesting video. But there was about 10 of these pigs just walking around in Podcastro Valley, which we are right now at Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. I am going to be hopefully donating my car to the state because it did not pass the smog, and I've given up on it. So I'm going to donate it to the state is the plan. And apparently they will give me $1,000. Yes, because they said, yeah, Mike Matthews, you have a wonderful car that we would love to take from you, and we're going to tear it apart and destroy it because your car is destroying the environment. So I am going to get money for that, I think. Now, why I didn't know about this the last time I got rid of a car because it failed a smog test. I think the last time I did that Cars for Causes thing and got nothing. Oh, it's a tax write-off. No, it's not. It's a rip-off, not a write-off. It was a bad idea. It didn't work. And so I will not do that this time. What do you think about John Hamm being Fletch? There's going to be a Fletch reboot. He's going to be Chevy Chase. The 1980s film. They've been talking about a Fletch reboot for quite a while, I believe. That's what I've been hearing. And Apple, Justin Timberlake has a drama called Palmer, and Apple has bought it. Okay, so for Apple TV, and Justin Timberlake plays Eddie Palmer, a former college football phenomenon who, after a stint in prison, returns to his hometown to get his life back on track. CBS has decided to end Survivor because of, well, yes, the coronavirus. It created, I guess, a bad atmosphere or an unworkable atmosphere. How do you continue that show when people are walking around naked in close proximity? How are you going to follow all the coronavirus rules when that happens? And all parks now, speaking of the coronavirus, have opened in Florida. All the Orlando amusement parks. So that means Epcot, which I've been to twice, had a fun time there. Disney World, not as much fun, but it was still a great experience. Oh, that Universal Studios. Oh, that's terrible. In Orlando. Oh my gosh. There was not a single ride at that. What a waste of time, that place. Wow. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. I don't know if you love the Universal Studios Orlando. Is it called Hollywood Studios? Wait. Oh, no, wait. That's Disney's. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. They had. So, I don't know if Universal Studios in Orlando is open. The Universal Studios in Hollywood, the original Universal Studios, where my father worked, was an extra that worked on a lot of TV shows back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. I went on that many times as a kid. The tram ride thing that they used to have, I don't know if they still have it. Some great memories from that. Alfred Hitchcock once filmed a commercial for it. Good evening, this is Alfred Hitchcock. And they went and showed you all the psycho houses there and everything. I don't know if any of that's still there. But the one in Florida was just terrible. And you go, and I get it that Floridians, they're so far away from Hollywood, they're more likely to go to some place that's right in their backyard. But there was a Men in Black ride that was terrible. There was the Back to the Future ride that was bad. Both of those are gone. The E.T. ride, I think, is still there. That was weird. Good gosh, I think that's still there too. And you can ride it virtually on YouTube. There was a really bad earthquake ride, which is weird because it's supposed to take place in a BART station at the Embarcadero in San Francisco, where there's a big earthquake and a train comes crashing down through the ceiling and there's water everywhere. And I'll never forget my mom. We're sitting there and the water's pouring and it flows right past the tram. And she goes, "Is that real water?" Because you don't know. At an amusement park, everything's fake or somehow synthesized, and she didn't know. But yes, it was ironic and weird because now I'm in the Bay Area and I can see that station any day. Just hop on BART and go over there. Hopefully there won't be an earthquake. But that's pretty much it, everybody. That's today's podcast because, well, It's a day where we find out that Kelly Preston passed away. 2-year battle with breast cancer, and that's sad. And I don't know if Scientology had anything to do with it, if they prevented her from getting the health care that she needed. I don't know. I know she was very devout in the Scientology world. In other celebrity news, James Roday, the guy from Psych, which, by the way, today, Psych debuts a new episode. It's a new Psych movie. I'm going to watch it tonight. With Dule Hill, James Roday, Corbin Burnson. And James Roday, he revealed his real last name. Hold on a second. I just had to press a cough button on my podcast. I am so professional. I had a cough button. No, all I did is turn the volume down. But, you know, James Roday, the lead guy on Psych, or is Dule Hill the lead guy? I don't know. James Roday, his father is Mexican. His full name is James Roday Rodriguez. And he dropped the Rodriguez because he wasn't getting any work. And racist Hollywood was telling him, oh, let's see, you look white. Why is your last name Rodriguez? Do you want to be a gang member? You can play a gang member in our TV show. So just all kinds of craziness he encountered. So he just dropped the Rodriguez. And now, with what's going on in the world today, and how all the racism is a big, bright spotlight is being shined on it, it's shoning down on it. And so James Roday said, you know what? My last name is Rodriguez. Get used to it. So on tonight's episode, the new movie of Psych, he will be James Roday Rodriguez. There you go. If you've ever watched Psych, maybe you don't like that show, that kind of wacky humor, and they're crime solvers, and he's not really psychic. He's just really ultra perceptive in a Sherlock Holmes sort of way. And he processes everything. And what's funny is, it's almost like the Sherlock, that Stephen Moffat BBC version, is almost looked like it ripped off a Psych, which Psych basically ripped off of Sherlock Holmes. But the way they film it, and he looks and he sees things, and everything lights up that he sees with these little things that he catches, these little clues. And then he's able to, then he pretends he's psychic, and everybody's like, ooh, how'd he do that? When he's just ultra perceptive, and a couple people are in on his secret. So we'll see how that goes, but that's interesting. This world is interesting. No? Look who else is here outside a cafe anyway, with you and me, somewhere in Podcaster Valley today.
Hello, Michael Masters, Madame Rootabega, and that is a very interesting story. Oh.
Yes, it is so interesting.
Michael Masters, I am psychic.
Oh, really? So that means, I don't really know what that means.
It means that I can tell that you need to use mouthwash.
Ooh. Okay, maybe a little mouthwash, that'll work. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we didn't hear Madame Rootabega do her thing where she goes, yes.
Oh, yeah. Madame Rootabega, do you want to say yes?
Yes.
And then say it one more time?
Yes.
And do you want to say yes one more time?
No.
Excellent. Now that we have established that for all our OCD listeners, next show it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. Tell me what you think about anything we covered today. 336 Daily, 3 plus 3 equals 6. As in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast has been for quite a few days now. Looking good. Good for us.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!